All right.
Champions League.
Okay. Now we do have a guest in the house this morning. Super Eagles captain, coach. Now he, of course, is on the podcast,
Yes.
and of course that podcast is with Toyosi. She'll tell us a little bit more about that. But it's the one and only Sunday Oliseh in the house. Hello. Good morning, coach and captain. You're welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning.
It is great to have you. Just before we go, I just want to mention that we all want to thank you. USA 94. I'll never forget. It was France 98. That shot, Anthony Zubizarreta, and that wonderful shot. That is the goal. And when I think about Sunday Oliseh, that's the only thing that stays in my mind. That's what I think about. It's a pleasure having you here on the show. But then there's been a lot of talk now recently. You've been going viral of recent on your thoughts on the issue of Peter Rufai. You know, I just want us to wrap up that particular issue now, because that's what a lot of people have been talking about. You spoke about how football is dead in Nigeria and how you expect the authorities to do more. Has there been any? Have the authorities reached out to you? Have you tried to get to them directly to put forward your suggestions or anything in that light?
Well, to start with, some years back, the government called me to help them make a plan. And the plan was supposed to be a 10-year development plan. And we had other members in the group. And I sat down for months and I prepared a masterpiece. And I repeat, a masterpiece. Several pages in details, and gave it to the government on how to help Nigeria's football from what was about to happen. And not part of it was being used. So, or has been used ever since. So it's not as if I've not tried to help the country itself, you know, in spite of the past. You know, I could have had grudges and say, oh, look, they're like, no, but it's my country. So it's not as if we've not done something. I have done something. And what I give them is about the same kind of things that I'm doing for FIFA, that I'm not doing for the International Football Association Board, IFA. So it's not as if it's something that is lack of quality. It's something that was top notch, but who am I to decide? They decided not to act on it.
Can you? Jose Mourinho has been sacked by Turkish Super League club Fenerbahce just after 6 games. And
yeah, just before we go on that, let's still keep up with him with a little of what he's talking about here. Yeah. He mentioned that he has already put up a blueprint, the plan that will take 10 years, and put it out to them, and it has not been collected. So moving forward, what do you think can be done? Is there anything? I know that ex-players, you know, you see yourselves, you talk to yourselves. We would have expected that by now a number of ex-players would be into football administration. It is not the case. Moving forward, what do you think can be done to salvage football? We are here in the next week. We are going to be taking on Rwanda and South Africa. There is a very strong possibility that Nigeria will not be at a second consecutive World Cup. In fact, it looks more likely than not that will be there. What can be done? If the government or the administration, as it were, they don't listen to you now, what should be done?
If Nigeria does not qualify for the next World Cup, and people who are running football in Nigeria are still in their positions, I mean the federation, then we don't deserve to even qualify for the next one. Because if you, as an administration, 2 consecutive World Cups don't qualify, that is worth hundreds of millions to a country's football industry. You don't qualify. There is nowhere in the world that the whole administration will not be put out. So it's up to us to decide if we're going to act or we're going to continue like this. If we want to continue to live in mediocrity, it's good. But let's just be aware that every 4 years that you don't qualify for the World Cup, your football goes back 8 years. That is how it runs. I can't go into details. We don't have enough time on your show. I will explain to my dear friend Toyosi after. So that's how it is. But it's every 4 years you don't qualify for the World Cup, your football goes back 8 years.
Wow.
We didn't qualify for the last World Cup. You see now we are struggling even against Benin. So now you have an idea what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You don't qualify for this coming one, which is looking likely now. Although I still believe we can qualify, but it will kill our football. So we have to do something drastic. You cannot keep You cannot keep driving the same way towards Badagry and expect to find yourself in Sokoto, Lai. It can't happen. You are going the opposite direction. So that is how it is.
All right. I just want to have your take now still on the Super Eagles. I just want to wrap Ademola Lookman, current African Footballer of the Year. There is, he has an issue with the club. You know what happens. I mean, this transfer window, more than ever before, we've seen a number of players who are having issues with their club. What do you think would happen? He has been called up, of course, for the squad. What do you think would happen to him as a player at this point? Is he somebody that we should leave out, you know, when it comes to getting the national team together? Should we let him sort out his issues? Is there any way that the Nigerian Federation can help him at this particular moment when it comes to the debacle with his club?
Leave out Ademola. Leave out the best player in the whole of Africa. You never go to war without your best general. So, in fact, that thought should not be entertained.
But then he has not trained. He has not played this season any competitive fixture. Match fitness is an issue.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But with all due respect to Rwanda and South Africa, we are playing Rwanda and South Africa. We are not playing Liverpool. We are not playing. So for that reason, we cannot afford to have our best player not in the team. And he is the absolute best player in the Nigerian squad now. Absolute. There is no contesting.
Victor Osimhen?
The man is...
Some would say Victor Osimhen.
Well, yeah, we will always have different opinions. I'm a coach. I'm looking at it from a coaching point of view. I'm looking at it from the... and currently, he is the one that voted Africa's best player. So let's not even... let's not go into the argument because the whole of Africa have already voted him there. So don't bring about arguments about it. But from what I see as a coach, this is a player who's got pace. He's unpredictable. He's strong coming back and going forward with the ball. He's a player you can play in 4 different positions: the whole 3 in front, plus behind the 3 strikers. Name me one other Nigerian player you can play like that. None.
Okay, Coach, let's have your thoughts on Jose Mourinho. He was just sacked. This is after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked the day before. From a coaching perspective, has football left Jose Mourinho? Is he still the special one? Do you think he still has what it takes to coach at the top level?
Mourinho will always be the special one. And as far as I'm concerned, he's probably one of the greatest coaches in relation to Africa. And our next podcast will share with you why we feel that way. Because the thing there is that, and I know Toyosi, don't ask Toyosi, she won't tell you. Because, because she's, but what I feel is that the man is very, very solid as a coach, but football has moved on. And I think there are certain things Mourinho has to improve on. But it's difficult. It's difficult trying to get into his own style of play. But I was expecting him to be sacked. In fact, I'm surprised it lasted this long. I was expecting him to be sacked.
He says he was expecting it.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's always blunt. And so if he said so, obviously he meant it. Before you go, Jose Mourinho, of course, is still the center of discussion here. Manchester United have been quite woeful as the season started. And there has been rumors that as Jose Mourinho has been sacked from Fenerbahce, he might just go back to Manchester United. Is there a possibility there?
Look, we created this podcast to be able to share such secrets with you. First-hand knowledge with Nigerians. And so far, I must use this forum to thank Nigerians because the way they've embraced my podcast with Toyosi. In fact, a lot of guys are in love with Toyosi at the moment, so I don't know why. so they've embraced it. We thank them for it.
Yeah.
And in the coming weeks, this is one of the issues we'll make clear. But when you're talking of Manchester United, one thing is very, very certain. This is a club that is going through a lot of changes. I watched them at the cup game, and it was horrible. Why? Simple. They came with 5 defenders. That's the thing. And you don't play a cup game against a small team of 5 defenders. People are already afraid of you anyway. So they will just come forward. So I think Mourinho going back to Manchester United, I don't see it happening. But Manchester United needs something drastic. In fact, it's kind of like similar with what we have back home in Nigeria. You have to do something drastic to bring a drastic change. So that is how I feel what can help them work out.
All right, so the final words. If we don't beat Rwanda and South Africa, should Eric Shell remain as the coach of the Super Eagles?
My dear,
if you don't get maximum 6 points.
I am a fanatical fan of the Nigerian brand. I am totally in disagreement with foreigners running our national team. And any Nigerian who says otherwise, then you should give back your passport. Because the reality is the fact that the moment we accept that another race is better than us when it comes to managing our affairs, then if we are going to keep Chele as coach, we're going to keep I hope I pronounced his name right, the national team coach. We're going to keep him as coach. So we're keeping a foreign coach. The next step for the government to do is to bring us foreign football administrators. Let's take it one step higher. Then let's do like that. Maybe then they realize that you are killing the trade of Nigerians. So let's kill also the trade of the administrators. Maybe that will bring a solution.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sunday Oliseh. It was such a pleasure talking to you. We'll be looking at having you in a subsequent, of course, bulletins and shows. Thank you very much.
Before I go, let me say something. Be nice to your CEO. Be nice.
I am. She knows I am.
He's my guy.
So much. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Take
All right. Very, very blunt statements there from him. If we are going to have a foreign coach, let's have foreign administrators.
Exactly.
All right. It's been a pleasure to receive. Of course, we're looking forward to having much more of this. Now, that's it on Sports Update. We'll take a time and I'll stay with us when we get back. Of course, it's trending